everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be doing another bookish interview, which I'm so excited for. I have here with us my wonderful friend Ashley. She and I have known each other for years now. I want to say at least 12 years? 15
Yeah,
years.
way over 10.
Yeah, well over 10. I mean, I think we met when we were still in our early 20s, possibly end of our teens, because it was in undergrad. But Ashley is now living the best life as a PA, and she has a beautiful little girl, and she decided that she would be willing to do our book tag with us here today. So I hope you guys are excited for a 20 questions video. For those of you that are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Jaya. I put out videos every Wednesday and Sunday on bookish related content. And if that sounds like it's your vibe, definitely stick around. For those of you that are returning, thank you so much for being here. We're both very excited to be sharing all things books with you guys. All right, here we go. So my dear, basically what I'm going to do is just ask you the questions, and then whatever you feel comfortable saying or sharing, go off, and then we'll just have a conversation.
Okay.
So first question I have for you is, what are your favorite genres of books to read?
Ooh, good question. I like a mix. I have, of course, like teen fiction is like a top fave for sure. But lately I've been getting into fantasy and then a little bit of I don't even know what you would call, not maybe self-help. Some of the self-help books, yeah. So yeah, I've tried a variety, but I stick with kind of the tried and true fiction.
That's fair. In
Oh,
terms
sometimes mystery.
of fantasy, is there like a specific type of fantasy you prefer? Like romantasy versus like time period romance or historical romance, like, you know what I mean? Like different types of
Okay.
fantasy.
Yes, I guess fantasy in terms of not a lot of, I'm not huge on like vampires, but I like the dragons, I like fairies, I like mystical, magical things, kind of Harry
That's
Potter
That
type.
makes more sense, because I was like, I don't think I've ever heard you read
Yeah,
dark fantasy or
yeah,
like
no, not dark
dark romance
fantasy.
before. But I remember like you did enjoy Fourth Wing, and we had talked about
I
that.
did, yes, I did really enjoy Fourth Wing.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense, because I was like thinking back to the books we've talked about, and I was like, I feel like you
Mhm.
read a lot more contemporary fiction actually. So that's interesting that you're now more into fantasy. Is there a specific like author you like for self help?
For self-help, what am I? Oh, right now I'm listening to a podcast and I just discovered him. Let me find out his name actually. I have it right here on my playlist. I really like him. He just wrote a book that came out. It is called Frequently Happy
Mm.
and it's by David Larby. Have you heard him? He did a TED Talk recently and I really enjoyed his TED Talk. But it's about being mindful and bringing joy to everyday simple things. So
Oh, that's
making
sweet. I really
really,
love
really
that.
sweet. And he's also a poet, so he kind of like rhymes. So it's nice.
Oh,
I like it.
fun.
Yeah, it's very fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never found a self help that I can really get into. I hate when people tell me what to do, which is the
Right. Have you tried
problem.
the Mindy Kaling or like the
I love
comedians?
Mindy Kaling's books.
I
I
do
love
like those.
those.
Yes.
I like most of the comedian authors who
Yeah.
are kind of like writing more from a perspective of like their life story than like
Right.
specifically self help. So yeah, I
Mhm.
agree. Memoirs of any kind, I'm down for. I can
Yes.
read a memoir. I can really enjoy a memoir.
I do like memoirs too.
Yeah, I
I
think that's
haven't
my
read,
nonfiction that I will do is
yeah, I
memoirs.
haven't read a bibliography in a long time though. Like I think the last one I read was like in high school and it was like required.
No, that's fair. So recently, every January, I do memoirs. So I was
Okay.
like, okay, I'll look into a few. So there's one called The House of My Mother by Sherry Frank. That one was the one we read this past January. That was really good. It's about a
Mhm.
girl who grew up in a household that was like very Christian, a specific sect of Christian
Okay.
as well. And the
Yes.
mom got really famous on
Mm.
YouTube, and it's the girl writing about the toxic energy that came
Oh,
from the
interesting.
filming, and then what
Mhm.
happened when she basically got hook, line, sink by this like fake therapist who essentially convinced her to start abusing the
Oh
kids and stuff.
gosh.
It's
Mhm.
insane. Like the book is definitely
Yeah.
insane. The whole thing went to trial. Like the mom was
Mhm.
in prison. Like all of that happened.
That's
But
interesting. I
yeah, very well
can.
written. And then I don't know if you remember One Tree Hill. Did you ever watch that show?
I did watch that.
Okay. Do you remember Bethany Joy Lenz? She was the one that played Haley, like
Haley.
the one that marries Nathan,
Oh, yes, 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 yes,
the
yes.
bookworm. So
Yeah.
she also wrote a memoir called I want to say Dinner with Vampires or something like that, and it's basically
Okay.
about her experience of getting caught up in a cult and how it
Okay.
affected her life. So it's her story. That one was also really interesting. I
Oh,
enjoyed
that's
that one quite a
cool.
bit.
That is interesting. I see.
Yeah.
I think I would find stuff like that interesting because it's kind of like real and true, and then it's like experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also
Or,
so
yeah.
story. You know what I mean? I'm a
It is a
story
story.
girl,
Yeah.
so I feel you. But very cool. So I love that you found a podcast and an author that you like. That's always so rare. I feel like, especially
Yeah.
in that genre, to find that. So that is definitely awesome. Um, what do you feel you read more, popular books or more underrated books?
I think popular. I right now I'm looking at Reese Witherspoon like book list, and so definitely more popular. Um, I tend to like even if I'm not sure about the book itself and I'm not like sure about the genre, I'll go for what I feel like I've heard other people say is good.
That's fair. I think, yeah, I think there's also safety in just kind of knowing that other people have
Hmm.
liked it to a certain extent, especially if you trust the reader
Right,
who's recommending it to you. So I fully
right.
agree. From what author have you read the most books? So, like, which author
Ooh,
have you read the most?
oh gosh, what's her name? We know this one. Um, she wrote all the one
Is
with
it
the
the
boy
ones that I
got.
recommend? Is it Sarah Desson?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Colin Hoover. Colin Hoover.
Colleen
Yeah.
Hoover. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's fair
Sarah
too.
Dawson I like too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, who have I recommended that
I
we
feel like I've read the most Colleen Hoover books just because
That's
it's like
fair.
these are quick reads
Yes.
and they're like popular. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think the one I
Yeah.
liked the most is It Ends With Us. That one was
Yeah,
definitely my favorite.
me
And then I
too.
also really liked Verity. Both of those were
I
like
liked
really,
Verity
really good.
actually almost
Um,
more. Mhm.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
the only thing is like I stop reading authors when they become too mainstream or they start making
Mhm.
shows and movies because I feel like then the writing falls off and the quality
Yeah,
drops.
I agree.
And I felt like that was definitely true with Colleen Hoover. Like I think It
Yeah.
Ends With Us had come out and then they
Have you
obviously
read the
had
new one?
I
Mhm. The new
have. It
Mhm.
starts with us. I read that one. I did not like
Yeah.
it.
I didn't like it at all.
I did not
I
like it at all.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I agree. I feel like it was very like written for the screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like her normal writing. Like usually it's
Mhm.
more emotional, it draws you in. There's like
Mhm.
really deep concepts that she looks
Yeah.
at in her books and then I was like, what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, and then Remember Him was kind of like that for me too. Like I felt like
Yeah.
it was a little too gimmicky, if that makes any
It's cheesy.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
So I wasn't a fan, but I liked her older writing for sure. Like I really
Oh, me
loved
too. The
Ugly
originals.
Love. That one was
Ugly
awesome,
Love, yeah.
beautiful, beautiful book. And then I think there's another. It's
Was it
Remember
Tell
Me.
Me Lies? I remember. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember either. I
Yeah.
do remember I didn't like November 9th. That one I
I
didn't
didn't
like.
read that one.
I didn't like that one. But there are a few. Like I think the
Mhm.
Colleen Hoover book that I remember us specifically talking a lot about though was It Ends With Us, and I do
And
think
It's
that
With
one
Us.
was
Mhm.
excellent.
Yeah.
Um, cool,
Such a
cool, cool.
good storytelling.
She is, and I think it's great that it goes so fast, especially when your
Yeah.
life is busy and you don't have time and you just want to like
Yeah.
do something quick and
I
unwind.
am more of a lighthearted or quicker read. The ones that get me, like depressed or sad, I don't tend to enjoy.
No, same. My friend in book club was literally talking to me about Demon Copperhead, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds, I guess, interesting." And she's like, "Yeah, but it's a devastating ending, and it's about a kid that gets into drugs." And I was like, "Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. That sounds like
Um,
an amazing book. I'm sure it's going to get acclamations and acclaims." But I was like, "Nope, not for me." Also, another one. What is it? It's very, very, very popular. Everyone talks about it all the time, and they say it makes you cry. Something Life. I'll find it. But that book too. I was like, I will never read that book.
um,
Number four. What audiences do you gravitate towards the most? Meaning, do you prefer YA, middle
mm,
grade, adult? Like, is there a specific writing style that you
mm,
naturally gravitate towards?
oh gosh, I would say middle, it's sad to say this, but middle age or like young adult. I would
I
say young
agree. I was gonna say young adult books have so
because
much
I
quality
still
to
feel
them.
like I'm a young adult at
Yeah.
heart.
No, I agree, but it's also like it's just it's easy reads, like you were saying. It's
Mhm.
fun, it's fast. The stories are still deep, and it's not like too much crazy spice or anything like that, where you're like overwhelmed by just unnecessary stuff in the book either. So
Right.
very well
Yeah.
written. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sometimes it goes overboard. You're like, oh no. I just read a book I couldn't even finish. It got too crazy. What was it called? You know what? Let me find out. I gotta find the name for you because you're gonna be like, it was about I don't know if you'll maybe if I tell you the storyline, you'll know because you've read so many books. I don't know if you've read this one though, but it's about a girl who has magic and what's her power? Oh, she kills people with a kiss.
Hmm. Is
What was
this
it? It's
Shatter Me? Is it that
it's
series?
what?
No. Shatter Me is a young adult though, so that's not an adult series. Then that's
It's a
Touch, not Kiss. Never mind.
fantasy book.
No.
Um, you know what? I'll find out real quick.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
I don't know if I actually know
it
this one.
gets it was really good when it started, and it gets like
Too
to
much?
the point over. Yeah,
No, that's fair.
that's when I can't.
That's fair.
Let me look at my Audible. Yeah, but once I find out. Okay, here, let's see. Oh, Sarah J. Maas is another author.
I
She's the one
do
who
love Sarah J. Moss.
I love her story.
Did you know book 6 and 7 of ACOTAR are coming out this year?
No,
Yeah,
I
so
feel like
six
I
is coming
forgot
out in
everything.
October and seven is
How do
coming out
you
in January.
remember? Do you reread?
Depends on the series. I think with this particular one, because I read Crescent City so recently and I've
Mm-hmm.
read ACOTAR and absorbed it as deeply as I have, I don't know if
Hmm.
I'll necessarily do a full reread, but I might reread the first three. You
Okay.
know, like the last two, I don't really care. Nesta's story, I don't really care. I know that sounds terrible. I know a lot of people love Nesta. I'm just not a Nesta
I
fan.
do love Nesta.
Don't care for her.
I do understand.
She's too angry for me.
Okay, it's called The Poisoned Daughter.
I've heard of this. I don't see
Okay,
myself reading it for the
don't
exact same
recommend.
reason that you just mentioned. So yeah.
I
Um,
really enjoyed the beginning. Hey, Bebe. That's
Hi,
my dog.
Pepe. Hi,
Hey, get out.
Babaj. He's so cute. Hi, baby.
Get out, please. Okay.
What is the most relatable character you've read?
Oh, that's a hard one. Most relatable. Gosh, in
Or like a
terms of
character you read and you're like, oh my god, like either this reminds me of a family friend or something that happened in life, or this just
Mhm.
feels like I'm reading me. Any of those types of experiences with a book?
come back, circle back to this one.
Okay,
That one's a tough question. Yeah.
all good, all good. Have you always loved reading?
No. I definitely have had moments or times in my life where I haven't read at all, and then I always go back to it. But then like as I've become older, I feel like reading is a sanctuary, and it feels very relaxing and a little like quiet luxury that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy it more.
I agree. I also think it's like you can appreciate it more the older you
Yes,
get.
I
I
agree.
think I've always loved reading. I think we know this, but I
Mhm.
think at the end of the day, like it's like the escapism you can find in a book and the depth that you can get into with characters. I think it's definitely much more intense as an adult because you can actually relate to a lot of the experiences they're
Right.
going through. Whereas like when you're like 10 reading about a romance in a book, you're just like,
Mhm.
oh cute, okay, whatever. Like they
Mhm.
like each other. But it's like the angst behind it or the depth behind it, especially like thriller
Mhm.
murder mysteries. Like I feel like
Oh my
it's
gosh,
hard to get
yes.
into those as a kid. Whereas I think as you're
Yeah.
growing older and you relate to those emotions, you're like, huh, I can kind of
And
see
you're
where
so right. You can relate more when you're an adult, no matter what the book is.
I agree. I agree.
So
What's
many things of life.
facts? What's a book you feel was written for you?
Oh gosh, that's a good one too. Um,
Maybe you'll also know the character based on that book.
I know. What's a book that I feel is written for me? It's hard to say. I mean, I really felt like I put myself in Harry Potter when it was written, and obviously, I feel like every kid was like, "Oh my gosh!" And I felt like I was like living in a magic, and I was going to Hogwarts. Yeah, it was like I definitely think that book, even though I couldn't relate on any level, it was definitely relatable in a way of like, when you're young and you're going into high school or going into school in general and making friends and just everything that was written about the relationships, the professor, the the finding out your true identity or yeah, I feel like that was definitely J.K. Rowling's an amazing author. I think she's definitely top. And I think Harry Potter is a great character that anyone can relate to.
I agree. I think it's also like it was written so well for our age group specifically. I
Hmm.
think 90s millennials when we were growing up, and maybe also
Yep,
to a little bit like late 80s millennials as well. Like the books were so well timed with our
that's
age.
true.
Like I
Hmm.
feel like the first book I think came out, he was supposed to be 11. I think I was
Yeah,
in third or fourth
we
grade
were
at the time.
probably like a little bit, yeah, around
Yeah.
there.
So it's like we were probably around like what, 8 to 10 when
Yeah.
that book came out. So
Hmm.
I feel like the fact that the books and the movies came out per year as we were
True.
like getting older, it was, and you were growing older with them, and
With
like
them.
literally you were in the same grade as them.
Mhm.
Like it was just, it was very relatable. I completely
Mhm.
agree. And while I don't agree with a lot of the things that J.K. Rowling has now said, and I don't agree with a lot of the
Yeah,
things that she's pushing for now,
her
I
views personally. Yeah.
exactly. I think all of that being set aside, and I don't see myself
Mhm.
ever reading anything else by J.K. Rowling, but I
I
do
agree.
think Harry Potter is a
Phenomenal.
unique,
Mhm.
phenomenal thing of its own. And I
Right.
think we have to give her credit for writing that
Mhm.
story. But I also think she was in a very different phase of life when she wrote that
Yes.
story, which is also why it was so relatable. But I think that's also what makes it beautiful as adults, too. Like, I think the
Mhm.
reason it spans generations is because she was writing it for her children,
Yep.
obviously, when
Her
she was
children.
going through awful experiences herself, and she had gone through, the worst and back, and obviously her home
Right.
life was a complete mess, and
Tough.
you can see that in the book. And I think the adult
Mhm.
characters, for that reason, as flawed as they are, is like very relatable too. Like I think you appreciate Snape and Dumbledore and like
Right.
McGonagall and all those characters more as you're older, whereas when you're
More.
younger I feel like you're very much Harry Potter
Oh,
character,
definitely.
so
You're in
it's
a
like
fantasy land. Yeah. You're just
exactly.
experiencing all the highs, but the lows you don't really get the depth of until you get older.
I agree.
And the pain and the suffering you don't really understand. Yeah, you can't.
I think there's a reason it was a generational phenomenon. Like just
Mhm.
it's like the eighth wonder of the world. Like I feel like
Yeah.
every single
It really
person
is. Like if
on
you haven't
every
read
single
that,
country
that is
has
a
stumbled
must
onto it.
read. Yes, like
Yeah,
before
exactly.
you die. Mhm.
Are you a first or third person like what do you prefer when you read?
Oh, ooh, I think third
I
person.
agree. I'm
I
also more
don't
of a
like
third.
first person. Yeah, it's hard for me to follow.
It is. It's a little confusing, I think, after a certain
Mhm.
point.
Yep.
Um, are you a mood reader or a TBR reader?
What's a TBR reader?
So TBR reader would be like, I have a list of books that I need to get through, and I'm going to get through these
Oh.
books. Versus like, let's say there's a season that inspires a specific
Mhm.
genre for you. So I'm a bit of both. So for example,
Mhm.
like monthly, I'll be like, this is my mood. So all of my
Mhm.
books on my TBR are going to be based on that mood, but then I'll only
Mhm.
read from that TBR. So
Gotcha.
I don't say, oh, I just bought this new book, so I'm going to read it. No, I'm going to go through that
Mhm.
TBR because otherwise I will
Mhm.
never get through my library of
Makes
books
sense.
at this point. But like for example, March for me is always thriller. February is always
Mhm.
romance. January is always memoirs. April's confusing. So sometimes it's like historical period romances because I feel like we're
Mhm.
coming into spring. So like
Yeah.
Bridgerton vibes, right? Like those type of
Okay.
books
Yeah,
in like April.
that makes sense.
May showers. So I feel like May
Mhm.
and June are more like just classic contemporary
I guess
novels.
I would say I'm both too then. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
both because when I was pregnant, I was in a totally different mood. And so I
Hmm.
was reading definitely different books than I am now. Well, but I'm also doing like where I'm trying to like set goals where I read one book a month. That's kind of
Hmm.
my goal right now. And that book will be like, okay, this is my sign that I want to read. Like for example, last month I read is it called Wild Dark Shore?
Oh yeah, that one's won acclaims. I haven't read that one yet, but I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah, it was good, but it was dark, and it
Yeah,
was
that's why I
yeah,
haven't picked it up. I've heard it's like super dark and it's
yeah.
very
They said,
emotional,
and
so I'm like, maybe.
so I wouldn't have read that yet based on my mood, and I don't think I would. I wouldn't recommend it like for anybody really.
Hmm.
It wasn't a favorite for me.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, so I'm both. I think.
That's fair.
But
That's
my
fair.
goal is very simple. It's one a month, and I'm keeping it there because I feel like it's hard for me to get through a book. It takes me time.
No, I mean,
Not
but
a
you're
fast
also
reader.
so busy, and I feel
Yeah,
like it's
really.
like
But
it
you
can't
know
be
what?
taken for
Honestly,
granted that you're like a young mother. You're also obviously doing a full time job. You're obviously
mhm,
also like still relatively early in our marriages. Like I feel like both of us are
mhm,
within that 5 year period of time,
that's true.
So it's like your marriage is still new. You have so many responsibilities towards your in laws and your parents and like everything else. Like
Life in
it's
general.
hard. Life in general. And
Well,
then I
it
think
is.
like if you live near your family. Like, it's great because you have, you know, instant connection with family, all your siblings, and you have instant babysitting whenever you need it and all that kind of stuff. But it also comes with its own set of time restrictions. Exactly.
Right.
I wouldn't say they're obligations because it's like you enjoy it, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like it takes time, right?
Yeah.
Like any relationship is going to take time. So no, I totally agree. Are you more of a series girl or standalones?
Standalones.
Standalones. That's fair.
I when it gets really long in a series, I'm lost.
That's yeah, no,
Yeah.
fair. I think I sink into a series. If I
Yeah.
love a series, like I will fully immerse myself, but I cannot like I don't like taking breaks in series. I need the series to be complete. I really
Yeah,
struggle
me
with
too.
like when the book is
Mhm.
coming out a year or two later and then you're
Yeah,
like I've forgotten the story. So I do agree
exactly.
with that. Like what's happening with Akatar, for example.
Mhm.
But I do think like certain series, like for example, the Zodiac Academy is completed, right? So like it's all 13 books or whatever have been released at this point. So it's like
Mhm.
with that series sitting and reading it, 100% on board. And I think I went
Okay.
through all of Suzanne Valenti
How many are
and
in that series?
it's a lot. It's like 23 books,
Oh
23 or
my
24
God.
books, I think
Oh gosh,
altogether.
girl, no.
5 plus 4 is 9. That's 9.
23 books
18,
later.
19, 20, 21, 22,
That would
23.
take
23
me
books.
that would take
23
me some
books in
time.
the three main stories combined. So there's a prequel
Wow.
series, there's a post series,
You know
there's a
what?
main
You should be
series.
proud of yourself for
Yeah,
completing
I
that.
finished it in
That
a
is
month and
a
a half.
accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, I finished all of them in a month and a half, and it's this
Wow.
shelf right here. I don't know if you can see those thick fat books next to the roses
Yes.
that I dried out, but
Oh,
like
so
they're
they're long too.
insane. And then the newest series just dropped, so
How
they've
does
written
one
books
write
into
23 books? That's
they're crazy. The creativity that they have is very interesting. I wouldn't say the writing is like something to write home about. Like the
Mhm.
writing is not incredible, but the storylines are entertaining. But I don't think it would be for you anyways. It's very much like that
Mhm.
werewolf, dragon, vampire,
Okay.
murder, mystery, fantasy.
Okay.
It's definitely like
Thanks for
romance too. So you can definitely like skip those scenes if you don't want to get super into it. But I do think like they're fun books to read for sure.
Mhm.
I think books 1 through 5 from um the spin-off series Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, that was terrible. I regret reading those 5 books. I think the boys themselves were great. The main female character is super irritating. Darkmoor Penitentiary was much better. I think that's the one where I was like, okay, good. But Zodiac Academy was solid. I genuinely enjoyed that series. But no,
Right.
I feel you. I think it's a struggle to wait for books in a series. It's also a struggle when the series is too long. But I think like if I do a series, like a solid 3 book series is great. Like a duology or a
Love that.
trilogy
Yeah.
is
Keep it
great.
short. Yeah.
hmm Do you like to annotate your books, like highlight
No.
and everything?
You?
Depends on the book. I feel like if it's for a book club, sometimes because I'll do it for the
Oh, it makes
girls.
sense. Yeah.
Or like there's certain authors where the
Mhm.
writing style is just so good. Like I
That's
can't.
true. Or you have a quote or something, you see the book, and you're like, okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna remember that. Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever read Magnolia Parks, if I've ever told you to
Have
read that
not.
series. It's very Gossip Girl, but in London.
Okay.
And it's written more for adults. So very like rich people who come from like, I mean, filthy rich families. Like they have their own private jets and things like this.
Well, that's
Place of
awesome.
privilege for sure. But
Mhm.
also like the entire, so the book
So
series,
upper class. Wait,
upper
where is it
class,
located?
and it's set in London. So
In
it's set
London.
in Europe. And the thing is, like in the book, it's toxic relationship that you're following
Mhm.
basically. So it's a girl and a boy who have basically loved each other since they were children, did the whole relationship, and then the
Okay.
relationship falls apart because of cheating.
Okay.
And basically they go back and forth like hurting each other because they know they want to be with each other, but they also don't know how
Mhm.
to forgive each other for the choices that
Right.
they've made.
Mhm.
And there are moments where it gets really dark. I know the main male character also struggles a little bit with drugs, but he comes
Oh,
out of
that's
it. So that's the
interesting.
only reason I like it. But it's the
Mhm.
writing style is
That's
beautiful.
good.
She has a way of
Okay.
writing that's
You
just
know what? I think that sounds like something I definitely would like.
here. Let
Let's see
me
what.
let me let me read a quote because they're just
Oh my gosh! Wow.
like I love the writing. Like it flows so beautifully. I also highlight all the times they talk about designer because the main girl is like majorly into designer stuff. Here we go. That's the point. Not just because I love her and she's her, but because she's my family. They're all my family. Boarding school does that to you, makes you make your own family. And whether I love her or not, she's mine. So things like that. I just like the way that she writes things. Oh, here's one. I'm glad she's doing a fragrance, though. For one, they're a cash cow. And two, I think fragrances are important. They leave a mark on your mind in a way other things can't. Old books, My Sister, Milky Sweet Tea, Marcel, Oyo de Monterey, My Father, Menthol Cigarettes, Bushka, Chanel No. 5, and Rosehip Oil, My Mother, Cardamom and Leather, a one Baxter James Valentine, Musk and Orange Blossom, The Worst Day of My Life. I'm wearing the moss green. Oh, sorry, that goes into something else completely. But like, I like the fact that she actually like pulls little things that you can relate to. But her writing is just, it's so beautiful. I'm trying to find like a good quote because I feel like these are fun, but they're not indicative of like just the metaphors that she has in this is beautiful. Oh, here we go. And sometimes I wish I could go back in time and tell little me to effing run. That this girl is going to ruin you. She'll be all you can think of all the time. She's going to bake biscuits, grind up your heart, and use it for sprinkles. She'll hurt you, and you'll hurt her, and you'll never effing ever get past her. But I can't. So things like that. Like I like the way that she speaks with the characters. And then of course, you know me in fashion. I love fashion. So I think anytime she's talking about Miu Miu and Hermes and all these things, it's just fun to read. So I like highlighting those too. But
how many books are there?
There are 3 books in this series, and then the Daisy Hates books has 2 books, so it is 5 books. But as fat and as thick as they are, like I flew through them. It's like they're so much fun, and you get so into the book. It's literally like watching One Tree Hill or watching like Gossip Girl. That's the same vibes I got from these books. And I love the fashion. I love it. I love it. Because you know me in fashion. Are you a long book or a short book girl? I think
probably short.
Yeah.
I'm a quick read person. I don't have the attention span or the time.
That's fair. I think
also I'm not a skilled reader. Like I like to read slow.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't think it's a skill.
The fastest I'll read is if I listen to it, like if I do an audiobook and then it goes back.
How fast do you listen to an audio?
I'll do 1.2 speed. What about you?
That's fair. You don't want to know. It's scary.
You got like 2.0.
I was like usually 2.25 to 3 is usually what I do. My average is usually around 2.5 typically. I think I just got used to listening to lectures really fast because that's how I used to study for med school. So that's why. I think it just...
That's awesome.
But usually when I start the book, I'll listen to it between like 1.8 to 2.2 until I get used to the narrator, which is like the first 2 to 3 chapters. And then from there, I can listen to it much faster. Yeah. But I will say like anything above 2.5, depending on the speed of the audio, sometimes the story won't retain. So I can understand it, but I'm not necessarily retaining all of the aspects of the story. So typically like these days, I've been doing more 2.25 to 2.5.
Okay.
So yeah. What is your favorite book trope? I know we talked a little bit about like romantasy, but is there anything specific like friends to lovers or childhood lovers or enemies to lovers? Like,
yeah, probably. Gosh, let's see. Probably like a enemies to lovers type situation. Yeah, it's like of course, like you know that they're gonna end up like falling for each other, but it's like the plot. I want to know what causes
how's it gonna happen?
Yeah, how's it gonna happen? Like who's gonna give in and what things are gonna be said and what does it take and what are the commonality that they have? Yeah. It's always fun.
I totally agree. What is your favorite book to TV show or film adaptation?
Ooh, book to TV show or film. Oh, you know what? Pride and Prejudice, hands down.
Oh, that's fair. Do you have a specific movie version that you like?
I mean, the classic. What's her name?
Keira Knightley, that one?
Keira Knightley. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that was the classic for our age. I feel like there was one that came out before that.
There was
also really good, but I can't remember who the actress was for the life.
I have no idea.
But I do like that one. And Colin Firth did a phenomenal job too.
Oh, yes. They're perfect, yes.
For sure. Do you ever
DNF the rain scene? What did you say?
Do you ever DNF a book?
Oh, well, I did recently with that Poison Daughter one, so.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Oh, it's rare, but I will, like, if I just can't.
I'm glad you do. I really struggle with DNFing. I don't know why.
I
I can
know,
do like
I
a
feel,
soft DNF where I'll be like, I'll get back to it. Like I don't hate it. I'm just
hmm
not in the mindset for it right now.
that's me, and then I'll be like, oh, I just totally forgot about it.
Hmm. But I don't think I've ever done like I really struggle with like a true DNF. Like this is
True,
so
yeah.
terrible. I'm not gonna finish
Well,
it.
you
Like it's like
probably have that guilt because you're like, I just want to finish it.
yeah, exactly. So then I'll be like, I'll finish it. I'll cry that I finished it, and I'll feel miserable, and I'll be like, this was a horrible book. Like it was 1.5 to
Yeah.
2 stars. But I think part of it is also like this is gonna sound very strange, but you know, like remember when we were younger and like anyone would come up to you and compliment you on an outfit, like most people will be like, "Oh my god, thank you for the compliment." I was
Mhm.
that weirdo who'd be like, "That's awesome. This is the designer that made it, and they really deserve the credit. I just put the outfit on." You know, like I was one of those.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing with the books. It's like an
Mhm.
author spent so much time writing this book and getting it
That's true.
published. And I feel like I
Mhm.
chose to pick it up. So now that I chose to pick it up, I have to support the author and finish the book,
Yeah.
but I may be like, this story is not for me. It's not necessarily
Mhm.
like this
Right.
author is a terrible writer or they shouldn't be writing or any of that.
Mhm.
Because I think there's a time and place for every book for every person. But it's one of
Definitely.
those
And
things where I'm
everybody has
like,
good.
it's
Mhm.
not for me.
I agree.
So it's that kind of guilt. It just doesn't even make sense because I'm not
Mhm.
friends with the authors. I don't know them. But it's just, I have this, is
I get it.
I
It's
don't
that
know.
internal
It's so
battle.
difficult. It's so difficult. And then like usually if I hate a book but I know someone else will like it, I'll at least try to
Mhm.
pawn it off so that
Yeah.
like it goes to a good home. But just
Right.
so difficult.
Yeah.
What's a book you wish had a sequel?
Oh gosh, I don't know. If let me think. I mean, I kind of wish that. Have you read The Alchemist?
Mm-hmm.
So like short and simple, but like it definitely needs a sequel. Like I need to
Mm-hmm.
know where this guy, what happens.
What happens to him?
Yeah.
The one by Frida Kahlo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that one was excellent. I remember we had to read it for school too. And we
Yes.
did like
And
this whole hypothesis section afterwards because our teacher was like, and what happens next? So we had to write our own stories. But I agree. I think that one needs.
and The Handmaid's Tale.
Mm.
Does it have a
Handmaid's
sequel?
Tale has a yeah.
Does
It's
it? Okay.
the Testaments. It just released. It's very good.
Oh, I
Recommend,
haven't
recommend. It
read
came
it. Okay.
out, I want to say 2 years ago.
Okay, I'll have
So
to
she
read
took time in between the two books. I think it was like solid 10-year difference between the
because I
release of the
have
books.
not heard of that. That's cool.
The Testaments was very good. Would
Okay.
strongly recommend. It takes place right after the end of the first book, but like
Mhm.
10 years forwarded. So you basically get to see the characters that are newly introduced at the end of the first book. You get to see their journey in the second book and then pull the old characters back in. It's very good. It's very good.
That is cool.
I
I might
also
have
feel
to
like that
reread
was
it.
a good book to
That was
TV
a good film,
adaptation.
and it
Yeah.
was, yeah. I didn't watch the whole series, but the first season that I watched, it was extremely good. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I think
very
that's
well
also what
portrayed.
inspired her to do the Testaments because I think
Oh,
either it came
speaking
out
of,
before or after.
books going into film,
Hmm.
Anne Hathaway is going to be playing in The Silent Patient.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
Devil Wears Prada too.
Oh
Wait,
my
okay,
gosh,
that's so much
that
more
too.
important.
I wish. I think that is coming out
That
actually.
is coming out for sure next
So
year.
that one for sure. But The Silent Patient would be really interesting to see how she plays.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That was such a good book. Alex McLeany's is probably one of my favorite authors. I'm like waiting for him to release
Yes.
book four. Waiting. He said it's been
And
drafted.
that
He
ending.
said it's going to release next year. I'm so excited. I'm so
What's it
excited.
going to be called? Do you know?
He
Okay.
hasn't released anything. He just said the first draft is done and it's still
Yeah,
based in like
cool.
Greek history and mythology, but it's still going to
Super
be
cool.
psycho thriller. So I'm like, yes,
Ooh, okay. When it comes out, please let me know because I'm not good at following up.
100%. Do you have a favorite fictional place or setting? I know we said Hogwarts,
Fictional
but outside of
place or
Hogwarts.
setting. As in,
Like
like,
a
what?
thing that
Like
you've read where
world?
you were like, oh, I wish I could be in this world.
Mm, hmm.
Like I really
I
enjoyed
guess,
Bridgerton, for example. I would love to be
yes,
a
like
part of
that
like
too.
that world and one of the debutantes and
Oh,
not
definitely.
necessarily part of the ton, but maybe observing the ton. That would be fun.
Yeah, I guess I do enjoy that kind of thing, like the old-timey, because the romance is also a little bit more intense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, maybe Bridgerton, Pride and Prejudice, those kind of like what even
Historical
time period?
romance.
Historical romance, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know in terms of like setting, like, I don't think I really enjoy, like I said, I enjoy like a little bit of magic, but not where to the point where it's I don't like vampire stuff, but a little bit of mystical wonderland, like I'm in a different world is always interesting.
If
I
you
don't
have,
enjoy futuristic.
that's fair. Sci-fi is hard. Sci-fi gets scary.
Yes, it's
Sci-fi is
scary.
intense.
It's
Like,
too intense. I agree.
I also feel like authors have been very close to being on the mark with a lot of their sci-fis, which makes me more nervous too. Like Fahrenheit 451, I feel like that's what's
Oh,
happening in the government in its own way. But yeah,
yeah.
it's
I don't.
tricky.
It's too scary
It's too scary.
because it can
Um,
be
I
something
read
that
another
actually
series called Scythe, and it's a young adult series by Neil Schusterman. It's
called
a
what?
sci-fi series. It's called
Okay,
Scythe, S
sorry.
C Y T H E. Basically, the concept is they've gotten rid of death. So natural death no longer occurs. So there's this group of people who have given the duty of basically reaping souls so that they're
Mhm.
maintaining the human population. But there's a group of them that believes in doing it randomized and to people that are actually in need of being reaped and like they care about like humanity
Mhm.
as a whole. And then there's another group that's just like, we're going to kill because we feel like killing. So it's like,
Right.
it's a very interesting dynamic. That
Yeah.
was hard to read. That was hard to read. It was right
Right.
around the election. That was
Mm,
difficult to read. But
that
even
would.
things like Fourth Wing, I feel like
Mhm.
there's such fun books
There's
to
some
read.
politics in there too. Mhm.
Exactly. But I don't know if I'd want to live in the world because I'm like, I don't know if I want
No,
to be in a world that's that
you know
turmoil
what? I
filled.
agree. Yeah, especially when you have to go through these things and you can die like so easily, or
Yeah,
most people
exactly. Or be separated from your family or
or
have
separate
everything
from
taken away
family,
from you.
everything away,
Um,
yeah, stripped from you. Just like Hunger Games, no
hmm
thank you.
No, I think I could
And
do
so
period romance like we talked about because low risk.
I agree. What do you call that? What is that time period where it's like
Historical
the
romance
era
is what I
where
typically
they
see.
historical, they're
Yeah.
like, nobility and ranking
hmm
and they have like that societal pressure, but then there's also like certain things that the girls are like, poison the perfect image, and then there's always the one that's rebellious. Yeah.
hmm
It's
I
like
also
a
love the outfits and the
me too.
balls.
I
It
love
just
outfits.
sounds fun.
The music, the time period. Yeah.
Exactly. I also could live in Harry Potter,
Oh, 100%.
hands down. Do you prefer ebooks, audiobooks, or physical books?
Oh, I prefer physical books, but I've been recently getting into, right now I have a Kindle, so I'm using, I guess that's an ebook, right?
hmm
It is convenient for me, but the audiobooks I do enjoy sometimes depending on the speaker because I have had a few audiobooks where I couldn't tolerate the speaker. I
That's fair. I think
had
there's
one
certain.
recently where the guy's voice was like high pitched and I was like, this is supposed to be
That's
romantic crap.
annoying. I
Yeah.
can't do that. If you ever get to the point with baby girl where when she gets older, if you want to introduce her to Harry Potter, the audiobooks for Harry Potter,
Mhm. Really good.
so good.
Okay.
So good.
You know what? I'm
Strong.
glad you told me that.
They're so good. Like
I wanted to
amazing. Because
tell you.
his narration is actually on point, but then he also does voices for all the little characters. So that's
Oh,
fun too. Like he'll do a voice for Dobby and he'll do a voice for like McGonagall and he'll do a voice for Snape. And like it's the same author for all the books, but it's amazing. So good. So good. Would definitely recommend. What
let me look
is
up the name of the book that I just read. Oh, wait, go ahead and ask me your question first and I'll find it.
I was just gonna say, what is your preferred page length for a book? Do you prefer a longer book, a shorter book,
Oh,
like
probably like
300
300
pages? What's your
pages. 300 pages is ideal. Um, Nothing over five. I can't do the 700, 800. Like,
Well, that's not true because you enjoyed Akatar.
well, you're right. I can do it, but it depends on the book. Okay,
Fair.
so it's called First Lie Wins. I really
I
enjoyed this
love
one.
that book by Ashley
Okay,
Elster.
yes.
Love
You
that
really
book.
liked it?
It was
Yes.
her first book, her debut book. It came out last year. And I remember we read it for book club. And I highlighted so much of that book. I loved that book so much. Like,
I just read for my
I
book club too.
was obsessed with that book, like
Yeah.
genuinely. And then I don't know if you know, but her newest book just dropped too. It's called Anatomy of an Alibi. I just
No, I
finished that
have
one
not
too.
read.
So
Okay,
if
I
you
will.
if you
I
like
will be.
this book
Go
and you
ahead.
want to keep reading her, Anatomy of an Alibi is pretty good too.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a cute name too.
It's a cute name.
Um, but I was thinking about that just because the audio version on Spotify, the male voice is not
Mm,
not
that's
great.
fair. That's
So I
fair.
had to, yeah, I prefer reading that one or like, sorry, mostly I would prefer reading physical books.
That's fair. I'm definitely a mix of both. I think I do a lot of audiobook just because I drive for work.
Oh
So
yeah, that makes sense. You drive a
yeah,
lot and you're spending a lot of time in your car. You might as well pop in an audiobook.
exactly. Like I
They
used to
go
do
so
news
fast.
channels and like NPR, and then I used to do like music. But the thing about music is I find that it's a little too distracting and a little too
Mhm.
chaotic sometimes. And then
Mhm.
the thing with NPR and the news is just so depressing these days that I don't want
Mhm.
to listen to it. I think ever since COVID, that's when I got into
Mhm.
audiobooks because
It's exciting too to have an audiobook because you're like, you get back in the car, you're like, oh my gosh, where I leave off? What's
exactly,
happening? Like you
exactly.
get it makes the ride more enjoyable,
It
honestly.
does. It does. I don't think I could do
Mhm.
something so serious as the news anymore. Like it's
No,
just I can't. Um yeah, no. If you had a recommended friend that should do this tag about all questions books, who would it be?
ooh. Mhm. I would have
Outside
said
of me.
you,
I was gonna say outside of
obviously.
me. 'Cause
Outside of you.
do we have
Do I
other
know?
friends that read as much as I
I
do? I'm
do
sure
have
we
a
do.
few other friends that read. I'm thinking about one right now. She reads quite a bit. Her name's
Okay.
Margaret. She's the one who started like a little book club that we're doing.
Oh,
So
cute. I
yeah,
love it.
probably her. I would recommend her.
Nice. I love it. That is all 20 questions, my dear. So
Oh,
thank you
thanks
so
for having
much.
me.
Of course. Thank you for being here. Also, guys, huge, huge shout out to this girl because she literally just landed back in town today and she is jet lagged and she is a mom of a baby. And I am so impressed with her for even being on this channel right now. Also, the PJs were
It's
chose
always fun.
and coordinated
Yes.
because for
Mhm.
Christmas every year we used to do our girly exchange with us and one of our other friends.
Mhm.
And so we're actually wearing PJs that each of us has picked at some point during those years. So it was just
Yes.
sentimental for us.
And I have the PJ she's wearing right now. I just don't have them washed.
Correct. And then mine is similar situation where my blue ones are also somewhere in my dirty laundry basket and I didn't feel like digging for them. Through that pile that definitely needs to be washed. But
Now I'm excited to
yeah,
have more
no,
book
it's
racks.
so fun. So when we were also doing the Christmas gift unboxings, I was sharing all of the little things from the
Mhm.
advent calendars
Yes.
that we did. So that
Oh,
was
that's
also with
awesome.
Ashley. And I'm so appreciative of you coming on this channel and doing this video with me. Thank you for being here. And I also just want to say to everybody else who's watching, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this bookish community with us. If we talked about anything that resonates with you guys, definitely leave a comment below. I love to read the comments. I love to talk with you guys. If any of you would ever be interested in doing this tag with me as well, let me know. I would love to set that up at some point and chat more about books and continue to grow this 20 questions thing on the channel. But for those of you that are new, if you did enjoy, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and that notification bell. For those of you that are returning, once again, thank you so much for being here. It means the absolute world to me. And we will leave you guys with this. Life is hard, life is busy, life is crazy. So I think it's really important. I think we both agree on this to take some
Mhm.
time for yourself. Like it's always going to be harder and harder to carve out time for yourself. I think, and that mental health and that self care is so important.
Mhm.
So I hope wherever you
It
are in the
really
world, you're
is.
feeling safe, loved, secure, and that you're getting plenty of time to rest and relax and read. We will catch you guys on the flip side with the next video. Ashley, thank you again for being here. Is there
Thank you for
anything you want to
having
say?
me. It was a pleasure. Happy reading.
Happy reading. Bye, guys.